Peace. This is Watch for Watchwords Media back at y'all for another round. And fight fans, yet the latest person to run away from Terrence Crawford. You know what? In fact, Terrence Crawford. With all due respect, I'm gonna have to start calling you Terrence the Smoke Crawford, because people, when they see smoke, they run the other way. And Terrence Crawford, whenever your name is aligned with somebody else, people start running the other way. The latest in this now is none other than Sebastián Fundora, who just last month was a last-minute replacement for Keith Thurman in PBC's debut pay-per-view when Sebastián Fundora took on then WBO champion Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, before this fight, Terrence Crawford had activated his mandatory position. So Terrence Crawford already wanted the winner of this fight, and majority of people thought it was going to be Tim Tszyu. So it was already supposed to be lined up, Crawford versus Tszyu. Tim Tszyu mysteriously drops the WBO title. He vacates the belt right before a fight. Why would you vacate this belt if this is something that you have worked your whole career towards, to becoming champion? And mind you, he didn't win the title against somebody. He was elevated because the WBO stripped Jermell Charlo when he wanted to fight Canelo instead of facing Tim Tszyu. So they elevated Tim Tszyu to become champion. Once he was elevated to this position, now his first fight as champion was supposed to be against Sebastián Fundora, and you drop the belt the same week that Terrence Crawford activates his mandatory? Come on, man. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And now there's more ducks in the pond, because Sebastián Fundora, after winning that title, now he wins the pay-per-view bout against Tim Tszyu. And what does he go on and do? The same exact thing. We just got word, it's official. Sebastián Fundora has dropped the WBO title. He vacated the title in order to not fight Terrence Crawford. How disgusting and disappointing this is. This sport of boxing is supposed to be warrior culture. You're 6'6", towering inferno. You tower over Terrence Crawford, and you're scared? You're running from somebody who hasn't even fought at 154 yet? He hasn't even had a single fight at 154. You don't know if his power is going to translate, and yet you run away from an opportunity to become the top person in the sport by beating number one, by beating Terrence Crawford. You had that opportunity to claim the top spot overnight, just like that. But just like Tim Tszyu and just like Errol Spence for years, all of them running away from Terrence Crawford. Disgusting. I mean, this is not what boxing's supposed to be. Boxing's not supposed to be about this. This is warrior culture. This was supposed to be a battle for supremacy. Who's the best? But no, people want to... This has become a hustle. This has become a hustle. Who the least most successful fighter that you could fight, that's who you want to fight. In the NBA, when a team advances, let's say if the New York Knicks go on to beat the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're supposed to play, the Milwaukee Bucks or the Indiana Pacers, right? Let's say Milwaukee wins. The New York Knicks can't be like, oh, no, we want the Indiana Pacers. No, the best is supposed to play the best. The best is supposed to fight against the best. And in boxing, we're just not getting that these days with all of these politics. Sebastián Fundora, disgusting. All 6'6" of cowardness, running away, dropping a belt that you just won to avoid fighting Terrence Crawford, who's moving up for the first time. So in Terrence Crawford's place is... And this fight is actually going to be a good fight. Before people knock Terrence Crawford for fighting him, because first of all, this is not Terrence Crawford's fault. Terrence Crawford continues to call out the big names Continues to. He made a deal with Al Heyman and PBC in order to get these big fights because they have everybody signed and they have the big roster. But apparently, he goes to PBC and he still can't get these big fights. So now he's left to fight Israel Madrimov. Now, if you're casual and you say you're a casual, or you acknowledge it and you know you're a casual and you don't, then it's fine. But for those of you who claim you know boxing and you don't know who Madrimov is, that guy can fight. So listen, let me tell you now, if you're casual in the sport or if you need to brush up on this brother, Israel can fight. This guy can fight. He's very awkward. This is going to be a tough fight. This fight, I'm telling you now, on April 19th, Illmatic Day. Peace to my man Nas for the 30th anniversary of Illmatic. Wow. But anyway, on Illmatic Day, April 19th, I'm telling you right now, that fight between Crawford and Madrimov is going to be harder than the Errol Spence fight. Madrimov is not only bigger than Terence Crawford, but he punches at very awkward angles. If you've ever seen, I've seen him fight plenty of times on DAZN. He's an Eddie Hearn fighter, and this guy, he can crack. He fights. He throws leaping left hooks like Joe Frazier. He lets his hands loose, and he comes in very awkward, moving his head. He's a very talented fighter, and because many in the States don't know him, they may be like, who's that? Oh, another no name? No, go do your homework. This guy, Israel Madrimov, is no joke. He's a very good fighter. This is going to be a very good fight, a very tough challenge for Terence Crawford. Both of these men, whoever wins this one deserves that WBO because these are both good fighters and willing to fight the best. So salute to Israel Madrimov for going out, not going out like a sucker like any of these other guys, not going out scared or like a coward, but doing what warrior culture entails, and that is going out on your shield. You are going out doing this for the fans, for your family, for the prestige. Salute to you, Israel Madrimov, and I'm telling you, if you're a casual fan, look out. This guy, he can fight. I suggest you go back and watch some of his fights because the guy throws hard punches and awkward angles. Terence Crawford, I still feel will win. He will figure him out and get him out of there, but Terence Crawford is going to have to figure him out. You saw Terence Crawford, it took him 2 rounds. By the second round, he threw the overhand, knocked down Errol Spence, and it was just a massacre from that point forward. I don't see a second round. This is gonna take like a few rounds, like 3-4 rounds of Crawford trying to download and process that information before he could actually know how to attack this guy because he's a tough fighter and he throws hard punches, awkward angles. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Unfortunately, these PBC fighters let us down yet again. Sebastián Fundora, yet another person running from the smoke. Terence Crawford. I'm Wise for Wise Words Media. Peace.